edge of the box, and you think, "Go on, lads, hang on," and battle like they were battling for the first 82. And it was disappointing in the end, but still, it's a point away from home, our first in our travels, so I've got to be delighted with that.
And to look at how that was crunch match. Well, Plymouth Argyle manager Paul Sturrock couldn't wait to get down to the business of working with his new squad this week, encouraged by their performance in Saturday's Devon derby at Plainmoor. The 1-1 draw offered him plenty of food for thought, and his old Dundee sparring partner Wes Saunders was also encouraged to see his Torquay side stretch their unbeaten run to 4 games. The commentary comes from Martin Dean.
Well, Argyle's new manager Paul Sturrock has opted to take a back seat for his first game in England, leaving Kevin Summerfield to take charge for the final time in his role as caretaker manager. Well, he makes just the one enforced change to the lineup, with Lee Phillips replacing the injured Wayne O'Sullivan. No debut for Torquay's new signing Khalid Shalki. His international clearance from France hasn't come through in time, but his fellow countryman Jules Mondy starts up front, the continuing absence of the injured Tony Beddoe. A high noon start to this encounter. Bright sunshine here at Plainmoor and a good atmosphere as well. And both these sides, of course, desperate for points. And I expect we'll see 1 or 2 tough challenges like that one from Craig Taylor, which brings the first free kick of the afternoon. Argyle immediately pushing the big men forward. Jimmy Aggrey's in there, so too is Alex Watson. Tully delivering the free kick, and it came off Sean McCarthy. And just past the post. Now, I think the referee must have decided there was a little bit of pushing in there, and given the free kick Plymouth Argyle's way, because the ball definitely coming off McCarthy. There's Wetherick, forward for McGregor. Found space to turn. Cut out there by Rowbottom, and then left the ball behind. Martin Phillips off on a little run. Phillips, oh, that's a great ball in, and McCarthy puts Plymouth Argyle in front. The goal set up superbly by Martin Phillips, and with just 5 minutes gone, it's Plymouth who draw first blood. Well, it was Martin Phillips who created the goal. Superb run into the box, kept his cool. McCarthy away to his left had taken up a great position, and he had the simplest task of just knocking the ball into the net. That's Sean McCarthy's 6th goal of the season. And you won't get an easier one than that. Well, a great move from Argyle. Well, that's going to give them an awful lot of confidence. Martin Phillips celebrating wildly at the end of it all, and not surprisingly, really. He did all the hard work, and McCarthy left with the simple task of just slotting it into, well, a virtually unguarded net in the end. McCarthy has played it into the path of Martin Phillips. Cross in towards McGregor, just a little too far in front of him. Could so easily have been number 2. Torquay was stretched again. And again, it was Martin Phillips who did the damage. Just playing the ball a yard or so in front of Paul McGregor. Torquay able to recover. Torquay trying to settle down. Argyle certainly have had the better of things so far. Not just in terms of the goal, but also territorially. Torquay begin to battle their way back into the match, I wonder. Mondy trying to find a way round Steve Adams. And Paul Watton. And Watton, in fact, who's penalised. A bang in the face as well. Torquay, meanwhile, have the free kick. Paul Holmes curled in towards the far post. Hill up with a header. And he does climb so well, Kevin Hill. He's by no means the biggest player in that penalty area, but he really got up well for that one. Just unfortunately for him, couldn't direct the header on target. McGregor is the only man forward. He's got the better of Tully, and now looking to set Lee Phillips away. Phillips taking on forward. Martin Phillips up in support. Argyle with plenty of men in the box now. Phillips looking to deliver the cross. And Paul Holmes getting back to head it behind for a corner at the other end. Martin Varlow then with the corner. the outside of the boot a little bit. Guinan had to come back a long way to get the header to it. Now Barlow again, forward for Martin Phillips. He's got the cross in, and Lee Phillips was in there. Ryan Northmore, I don't know how much he got on the ball, but certainly he was left a little bit exposed by that cross from Martin Phillips again. And Torquay perhaps a little fortunate to get away with that. Bottom's free kick. Kevin Hill got up well for the header. This is a Williams. Back for Hill again. Oh, good save. Almost came for Jules Mondy, but good defensive work from John Beswetherick. Now forward with the shot. Deflection this time off Craig Taylor and away for a corner, but that's probably the best action we've seen from Torquay United. John Hodges forced to make a good save from Kevin Hill initially, and then it was Beswetherick just getting in ahead of Mondy to get in the clearance. A vital clearance it was too. Mark Ford's shot eventually turned away for the corner by Craig Taylor. Holmes then to curl the ball in. Agri got up at the near post. Watson was almost in there. Now Ford with a shot. And Torquay suddenly beginning to apply a little bit of pressure. Well, Alex Watson had perhaps the best opportunity, just couldn't quite force the ball over on the goal line there. And again, it was Mark Ford on the edge of the area, looking to make something from it, but the volley a little too high. Mondy back for Holmes. And Mondy again, crossing towards Steve Tully. And the header onto the top of the crossbar. And it was one of those looping efforts which you just wondered for a moment where it was going to drop. I'm sure John Hodges must have done as well. Happily for him, but not for Steve Tully. It dropped on the top of the crossbar and away to safety. Another substitution about to be made. Lee Phillips is going to be the man to come off. And it will be Kevin Wills who will come on. So another of Argyle's youngsters getting an opportunity. Moldy, Ledbetter. Now Martin Phillips. Solid challenge from Mark Ford. Tully. Down the line for Afian Williams. Bringing Tully back into things again. Away by Barlow. Low bottom finding Jimmy Agri. Did well to create a bit of space for himself. Mondy. Afian Williams. 1-1. Well, he's a real goal poacher, Afian Williams. And those are the sort of opportunities he thrives on. It was Jimmy Agri's initial effort which set the whole thing moving. Found a bit of space for himself. Little flick on from Jules Mondy. And Williams latched onto it, double quick, and put it beyond John Hodges. And that's his 5th of the season, Afian Williams. He'll be pleased with that one, I'm sure. A real poacher's goal. Martin Phillips. Back for Ledbetter. Away only half-heartedly by Agri. He's found Wills. Now McGregor with a chance. Oh, good save from Northmore. And that could so easily have been 2-1. Argyle getting themselves back in front, shall I say, within a minute then. Well, young Kevin Wills, who's just come on, who set up the opportunity. Cool head from him. Found McGregor in a good position. Struck the shot well. And a good save from Ryan Northmore. Ledbetter. McGregor. Middle touch on for Martin Phillips. Guinan making progress on the far side. He's been found by Phillips. Couldn't find the finish. Well, a good sweeping move from Argyle, who suddenly woken up since they found themselves pegged back on level terms. McGregor finding Martin Phillips, who again provided the threat. Good cross. Guinan not able to get the shot on target, though. Came off Kevin Hill. Barlow. Turn back for Hodges. Oh, that's a poor clearance. It's gone straight to Mick O'Brien. What can O'Brien do here? Well, he seems to have delayed a little too long. Argyle getting the cover back. Mark Ford eventually sliding it well wide. The opportunity opened up for Mick O'Brien then. It was really the first mistake we've seen from John Hodges. Very poor clearance. He had Mondi to his left, O'Brien, deciding to try and create a bit of space for himself, but just managed to get tangled up in all those Argyle defenders. And the chance was lost. And it's Watson coming up against Kevin Wills. It's fallen for Martin Phillips. Can he produce a little bit of magic at the end? He's got the cross in. Away by Mark Ford. Ledbetter. And will that be the last effort? It's been a pretty frenetic second half. Well, Chris Ledbetter, who's played for both sides in this Devon derby, might just have had the final word in this one, but not quite the final word he would have hoped for.
The derby game's very difficult, same for any sets of players, and I think it was shown in the type of football played. But to be fair, the first half hour just before McCarthy went off, I'm saying I think we played some good stuff. I think we merited being up at the time, and I think if Sean had maybe stayed on the pitch, I think the result would have been different.
Their goal came from a mistake. Apart from that, they didn't really create anything. All credit to the lads. Second half, we came out and until we scored, we battered them. I've got to say that. After we scored, all of a sudden, a couple of players in the side started taking chances, starting to think they could play a bit instead of doing the things that they're good at and what they can do. And maybe we could have gone on and won it.
Well, there's a wee bit of fight in the team. People had told me that was maybe missing, but I didn't see that today. I thought they were all committed. I also saw a couple of areas that we must strengthen very quickly. But pleasantly pleased. I thought my back four as a unit worked very hard together. I thought the left winger had an exceptional game, and there is things that we can build on.
All week, and the Gulls must have wished it hadn't survived the weather. They went down 3-2 despite a debut goal from Frenchman Khalid Shalki. The commentary comes from Graham Sellers.
Agri. Well, it's a good ball, and Neil Tarrant on the ball for York. Watson doing his best to stop him. Chance here for Bullock. Good first-time shot, but the keeper in the right place, Ryan Northmore. And Bullock always stretching. He was in an awkward position. Did well to connect with the ball, in fact. Decent strike on it, though, and good stave. Tarrant. This is Bullock. Might fancy a crack, and, well, straight down the centre and straight over the crossbar. Leaning back all the way there, Lee Bullock, and that's what took the ball over the bar. This is Williams, good chance here, but he's ballooned it straight onto the cop, and, well, from that position you would have expected him to have done better. Huge kick downfield, slightly wind assisted, but still Rowbottom struggling to deal with things. There's outside, and that'll be another corner. Scott Jordan with York City's third corner. They're queuing up, and there's Hume with a header, a free header as well. He came ghosting in Martin Peters style and put that one well wide in the end. I think that one of the defenders might have put him off. Comes out to Steve Tully, who tries to pick out Mendy, and that wasn't a bad ball, but it wavered slightly in the wind. Williams picks up, and Tully at the end of it. This is Mendy. What can Jules Mendy do with this one? Plenty of red shirts about him, but he's evaded 4 of them. This is Russell. It's his cross. Shalki is there, and that looked to be a blatant handball, and Mark Sartori will be sent off for this. That was blatant handball from Mark Sartori. It's a penalty. Mark Ford looks as if he's going to be the man to take it. The 32nd minute. 1-0. Mark Ford, who's playing with a bout of influenza, doesn't seem bothered at all as he steps up to hammer Torquay United in front. They have a good record here at Bootham Crescent, and Wes Saunders will be happy that his side has got a platform here, and They can go on to maintain it. Jones with the cross. Away by Watson. Jordan, and outside with the eventual shot, and that was Tarrant back in, and a chance here, and York City have scored. It's Kevin Hume. Nobody picked him up at the back post, and Colin Alside was creating havoc in the 6-yard box. The keeper, Ryan Northmore's injured, incidentally. Kevin Hume has put York City level. Looping throwing and outside the target. Jordan scooping it back to Jones. Away by Schalke, but this is Bullock. Good shot by him, hits the post, and it's in off David McNiven. His 6th of the season, and he won't score an easier one all year. Terrific strike by Lee Bullock. The goalkeeper, well, I think that Northmore perhaps thought that was going wide. It slapped against the base of the left post, and an easy chest in for McNiven. 2-1. Tully with the throw-in. Khalid Schalke with the knock-off to Mendy. This is Lee Russell. It's his cross, and Williams' touch lets him down, but here's the backup, the cavalry, Steve Tully. It's his cross, Schalke is there! Superb header from Khalid Schalke. Wes Saunders' French Foreign Legion frontrunners have got Torquay United level. It's 2-2. Khalid Schalke with a header on his debut. Hall. He and Bullock playing a game of their own down that side. That's a free kick, and Hall impeded by Mick O'Brien, who's just come on as substitute. And Scott Jordan nipping over to take this free kick. Plenty of jostling taking place near the penalty spot. Satori's at near post. He's barged out of the way, and Alside misses a sitter at the back post. The flag stayed down as the ball came all the way through to Colin Alside, and the goal was gaping. Somehow he blasted it over the top, and that's incredible. And it's back with Hockin. Matt Hockin with lots of fade on that one. Hill meets it. This is Jones. Barry Jones, former Wrexham man. Agri intercepts. Jules Mendy. Well, chance here for York City as Tarrant feeds in outside. It was Alside's shot, and it misses by a whisker. Well, Colin Alside has put himself about today. Caused 1 or 2 problems for the Torquay United defence, and he wriggles away there and seems to scuff his shot and cuts it well across the goal mouth. Rowbottom. Williams almost onto it. Agri and Alside battling away there, and Alside goes down under a challenge from Jimmy Agri, and that'll be a York City free kick in a rather favourable position if you look at it from a Minster man's point of view. A triangle being created by York City here, and 5-man wall for Torquay. It's Jordan who thumps it, and that came off Tully, and Bullock's shot. That was the follow-up. He's got a good shot on him, Lee Bullock. It was his shot that slapped against the post that McNiven put in the first half, and well, he's leaning back all the way there, blasts it well over. A lower kick this time from the keeper, and Agri gets underneath that one, and Iwalumu was there as well. New signing, French striker Khalid Schalke scored Torquay United's equalisers to take it to 2-2 in first half stoppage time, and on his debut that's good going. International clearance was confirmed yesterday, and this is a dodgy one for the keeper to deal with. It's against the crossbar, and that was incredible. Huge turf forward and grins all around the ground, and goalkeeper Alan Fettis was struggling. Just managed to get a touch in it to take it onto the crossbar. That would have been a bizarre way to score. Sissoko getting involved, and Mick O'Brien brought into it. That's Tully's ball in. This is Williams. Sissoko and O'Brien fighting over it, and O'Brien's shot a coat of paint wide. Well, I just wonder that if Sissoko and O'Brien hadn't have collided in the first place, one of them might have scored that. That was shambolic. Here we go again with Chris Iwalumo. This is Wayne Hall's cross. Hume's there with a header. Oh, York City have surely won the game now. 3-2. Hume gets his second goal of the season for York. 2 in the same game. It was a peach of a header. Iwalumo was creating havoc over on the left wing. It was Hall's cross, and Torquay United just couldn't hold on that little bit longer. 3-2. Crunching challenges taking place, and there's an aftermath here between Hume and O'Brien. It's almost like a rugby play, that. Potter's cross. Iwalumo's there, and just over the crossbar from Chris Iwalumo. The 6'4" striker on loan from Stoke City has created havoc since he came on.
Torquay slumped to second from bottom of the league then, but Exeter have some breathing space now after their long-awaited win. Argyle with those 2 games in hand over their Devon rivals. Favourites against Southend now after failing to make home advantage count on Saturday. Dave Webb's return to play more marked by a 1-1 draw, described by Seth Conway.
There. Now Carruthers. Williamson will beat Hill to the ball. Slides it in for David Lee. Although he puts it in the net, the offside flag is up. It was a neat move from Southend, though. Williamson splitting the defence apart to find David Lee. And tucked it away neatly under Jones, but it doesn't count. Here's Carruthers. Shoots from range and always drifting wide. Stuart Jones that time more composed to just see the ball flash past the post. But Carruthers was given the space to cut in field and get the shot away. Southend fans might have something to cheer soon. Abe. Back for Booty. Mayer just lifted into the middle, looking for Forbes. He's done really well there, and not surprisingly, the ball has been put into the net by Russell Williamson. The cross just drifted over, and there was Forbes to get the header back across goal. And on the half-hour mark, Williamson has given Southend the lead. Torquay 0, Southend 1. Now Ford in for Chalky. So, with a no-nonsense clearance. Abe comes on top against Neal, and the ball is on for Williamson. Can he get past Watson and finish? Well, Stuart Jones, he did spill it a little, allowed Carruthers to get in, but the keeper did well, as Williamson tricked his way past the Torquay defence to get the shot in, but Jones was equal to it. Carruthers. Watson will just spoon the ball forward. Header came from Sissoko. Tony Badair might just get there. He might fall for Chalky, you know, and the referee has decided that that is a penalty. And Khalid Chalky was upended by Damon Searle. The referee waving away appeals. But as Chalky tried to twist his way through, his legs were taken, and the referee has given the spot kick. The responsibility to get Torquay back into this game falls to the captain, Mark Ford, and he does. It's his 3rd goal of the season, and Torquay, somewhat fortuitously, are back in this game. It's Torquay 1, Southend 1. Well, that salute to the crowd by Mark Ford might get him in trouble, but the goal that he has just scored has revived Torquay's cup hopes. A well-taken penalty. Sissoko waiting in the middle. It's going to go all the way across for Badeau. Now for Sissoko. Badeau will take the return. Oh, off the crossbar. The chance still hasn't gone. The header away by Roger, only as far as Chalky. Looks to line it up. Now finds O'Brien. O'Brien can just look for Badeau once more, and this time off Badeau and behind for the goal kick. But fine play from Torquay United. Sissoko and Bedeau combined, and as Bedeau just chipped the ball up, it went over Flavin, but unfortunately back off the face of the bar and away.
I think we could have nicked it. I think we had a lot of pressure early on in the first half. Late on, we improved second half. I felt we were a lot more positive than what we were early in the first half. But I think the draw was a fair result at the end. I don't think either side done enough to win it.
The replay at Roots Hall is set for next Tuesday, and Torquay will need a marked improvement in their away form if they're going to get anything there. Good confidence after that 2-1 win over Barnet on Saturday. It was a massive game for the Gulls. If they'd have lost and other results had gone against them, they could have ended up rock bottom of the league. But they responded to the challenge extremely well, and watching them gain a little breathing space in that basement battle zone, Martin Dean.
Well, some rare sunshine at Plainmoor, and with the pitch having passed a lunchtime inspection, Torquay will no doubt be anxious to make the most of the opportunity to brighten their own prospects. They desperately need a win this afternoon if they're to avoid dropping to the bottom of the table. The omens not that good. Barnet haven't lost in 7 previous visits to Plainmoor, and they're unbeaten, of course, since Tony Cottee took over as their player manager. It is albeit just a 3-game spell in which they've enjoyed 2 wins and a draw. Back on from Kevin Hill. Bedeau trying to set Sissoko away. He's onside. Habib Sissoko. It's Torquay's best effort so far. And the Frenchman who's had so many injury problems at the start of his spell here at Plainmoor needs to be back in the side, but not quite showing the sureness of touch I'm sure that we'll see out of him. He's had a few more games under his belt. Hill with the throw. Bedeau looking to get the cross in. It's come for Steve Tully. Tully with a chance. Oh, off the post. Well, that was a good opportunity, really. He just dragged the shot a little then, Steve Tully. And a let off for Barnet. Well, Tony Bedeau's cross causing all sorts of panic in that Barnet defence. Eventually got through to Steve Tully. He found the space to squeeze the shot in, just dragging it a little too far wide. It's come out by Kevin Hill. Now Schalke. Inside for Hill once more. Schalke. Bedeau. Pulled in towards Kevin Hill, had to stretch for it. Schalke with the shot. Oh my goodness, that almost crept in. Oh, Danny Naisbitt will be a relieved man after that, I'm sure. That could have been a very soft goal. Tommy again with the corner. In towards the far post this time. Watson looking to turn it back in. Agri with a touch off the line by Sawyers. Oh, Barnett's goal leading a little bit of a charmed life at the moment. Jimmy Agri, desperate to get his name on the score sheet. He must have thought he'd done it then. But on the end of Watson's header, little touch from him. Sawyer's right on the goal line. Mark Ford this time with the shot. Well, it was dipping, but not quite dipping enough. Good spell of pressure from Torquay, though. 4 corners in quick succession. Causing all sorts of problems. Mark Ford, the man then who picked up the pieces on the edge of the penalty area. Couldn't keep the shot down enough, though. Ford just getting a touch for Tony Bedeau. He was caught after the ball had gone. Bedeau with 2 defenders. Sissoko's taken up a great position in the middle, but Bedeau no hope of finding him at the moment because he's being forced wide. He's won a free kick, though. Stockley penalised. Steve Tully carrying it in towards Bedeau. And Tony Bedeau puts Torquay in front. Goal number 4 for Tony Bedeau this season. And a well-deserved opening shot for Torquay United. Simple goal in the end. Good free kick from Steve Tully. And Tony Bedeau getting up well with the header. And heading it downwards, as you're supposed to do. And it paid dividends. Doolan looking to play it short for Richards. Support is from Stockley and now from Curry. Stockley's gone for the return ball. Done well to get the cross in. Richards with the header. Well, Sam Stockley providing the engineering work, and Tony Richards finishing the job off with a precision header. Well worked goal from Barnett. All started with that little 1-2 between Stockley and Curry over on the far side. Stockley getting to the byline, pulled the ball back, and Tony Richards there to head home his 8th goal of the season. Niven forward towards Cotti. And off Schalke. And now Rowbottom with the clearance. He's just finding it difficult to bring it all under control. Watson with the clearance. Kevin Hill inside for Habib Sissoko. He's found Schalke well. Beto just ahead of him. Tully to his right. He just delayed a little before getting the cross in. Not a bad one though towards the far post. Sissoko. Well, that's two. And Habib Sissoko celebrates a little bit of French magic. It looked for a moment as if Steve Tully might have delayed a little too long before getting the cross in. And he did very well indeed, and that curler towards the far post caused all sorts of problems. It eventually fell for Habib Sissoko, and he slotted it in for his 2nd goal for Torquay United. Doolan wide for Stockley, and offering them the outside route. Cross too long for Richards. Toms will keep it in though. Going to get to the byline again. Oh, and Jones just flapping at it a little bit. Still the danger not clear. This is Sam Stockley. Well, they should have done better, and he knows it. And he was beautifully set up by Tony Richards, and that really was a golden opportunity for the equaliser. It's a real travesty when you don't get the shot on target from that sort of range. Steve Tully with the corner. Towards the near post. Schalke couldn't quite get the foot on it. Still not cleared. Watson is in there. So too Sissoko. He's found space for a shot. Just got underneath it. Well, Sissoko thought the goalkeeper got a touch on it. So sure that he did, but it was another good opportunity for Torquay. Alex Watson making his presence felt, and Sissoko just carving out enough space for himself to get the shot in. Should have got it on target. Tully then curled towards Schalke, just came off the top of